Welcome to another Thursday, which means another live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and this week, joined by Jeff. Thank you once again for jumping in and joining me here.
Yeah.
So it's not just me sitting here look like an idiot on my own. So I'm glad to have you with me, my friend, and hopefully all of you out there as well are going to enjoy a little bit.
Yeah.
This is going to be sort of similar to last week. We're a bit shorter, focusing on the Aussie stuff a little bit, but we'll obviously have as much fun as we can and interact with you guys as much as possible. We have, on that note, going to be talking about the latest album from Ablaze, the latest EP from Serpentine out of WA. We're also going to talk about a couple of singles, those being from Karnivool and Mirador, and we're going to be having a lot of fun along the way as well. Links are in the description box. We'll put them in the chat as we go through as well, just for those watching along live, but it gives everyone a chance to catch up on everything else going on as we go through things. And get in the comments, say hi, have some fun with this. And if you're here, I think I asked this question last week, but it's currently a question in our Patreon and Discord that people are still bouncing around on. So get in the comments and let us know some of your favorite acoustic releases, be it songs, EPs, albums, whatever you want it to be. Just get in the comments and let us know your favorite acoustic releases, just for a bit of fun today. We have Jolie in the house in Discord. Good to see you, Jolie, as always.
Hey, Jolie.
Michael here going, hi, Andrew and Jeff. Hi, everyone. Good to see you as always. Kat's in the house. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Jeff. Hope you're feeling better. So good to see you as well. Kat, I'm not sure who YouTube user is, but good to see you.
Hey, YouTube user. All right.
Your name. Craig's here. Good to see you, Craig. Same with Katie. Katie's here again. Hi, guys. How you doing? We're doing good.
Hey, thank you for asking.
And other Michael is here too, going, hey guys, good to see you. Darren's here. Evening all. Anyone going to Metallica next month? Well, there's a bonus question for everyone to get around. Let us know if you're going to see Metallica. Where are you going to see Metallica, and what songs? Even though people usually get a hold of the set lists pretty conveniently these days, let us know. Who you're going to see, or if you're going to see Metallica, what song you would like to see live. Let us know. Actually, if you've seen Metallica before, what's a song you'd like to see them play live that you haven't seen them do yet? Because that's always a good one to ask. Yeah. I think I've kicked my bucket list off pretty well. I've seen them 3 times and seen pretty much all the songs I want to see. I haven't seen them obviously since like 72 seasons and that, but I've seen them post-Death Magnetic. So I think I saw some songs from that.
I saw them in the 90s, so a long time ago.
I first saw them early 2000s, I think it was, from memory. Anyway, I don't know. It was a while ago.
I had tickets to go see them in '89.
Wow.
So
cool.
yeah, Queensrÿche opened up for them at the time.
That's right. Yeah.
And I couldn't go because I broke my fucking leg.
That's a story. You can go back through our previous shows and watch that story. It's been
that's right. So I couldn't make it, but of course I was like so pissed off, But it is what it is, right? What can you do? But yeah, I did tell that story. It was a crazy story. Go back, find it. It's a rabbit hole.
I'll release it, just not today. Anyway, get in the comments. Let us know your acoustic releases that are of choice, and if you're going to see Metallica, and if you are, what song you're hoping to see. Michael's gone. It was me. Sorry, my account was playing up using my phone. Cool. Just as long as you know who it is. Good to see you. And Craig's 89 Festival Hall. That would have been a fucking cracking goal.
Yeah.
That one. But yeah, that would have been fucking fantastic. So cool. Alrighty, well, let's just keep us ticking along because it is Friday tomorrow. It's our pre-weekend fun now. So let's go through the release list that's coming out tomorrow. And if there's anything missing, get in the comments and let me know because there's always something I miss along the way. So just quickly running through here, we've got Agriculture with The Spiritual Sound. We've got Author and Punisher with Nocturnal Birding. Blood Red Hourglass are releasing We Should Be Buried Like This. Cathedral have Society's Pact with Satan. Corey Marks has Sorry for Nothing Volume 2 coming out. I know there's a few people that watch the show that enjoy that artist, so have at it. Dirk Schneider and the Old Gang, there you go, with Babylon. That's coming out tomorrow. Dissona with Receptor. Fight From Within are releasing Talk Is Cheap. Gore are releasing If You Do Not Fear Me. It's an EP. Hooded Menace have Lachrymose Monuments of Obscuration. Michael Schenker Group, there's another one that a lot of people love. Don't Sell Your Soul is out tomorrow. My Morning Jacket is 20th anniversary edition of Zed coming out. Orbit Culture have Death Above Life. The Red Jumpsuit Apparatus have X's for Eyes coming out tomorrow. Got Shamash with The Gulf Between Us, Tenacious D with The Complete Masterworks Volume 3, Times Forgotten with Songs of Awakening, Today is the Day with Never Give In, Windwalkers with I Don't Belong Here, it's another EP, and then finally Woad with Uncrossing the Keys. Those are the releases that I have on my list for tomorrow. Like I said, if there's anything missing, let me know. Kat says, no Metallica, but I am going to see the Filthy Animals Saturday in Melbourne. Great lineup. That's the band that keep doing all the covers, isn't it, Kat? From memory. Let me scroll down through my playlists here, and I'll have that. Yeah, the Filthy Animals. They're the ones. They're the ones doing constant covers on Spotify. They do pretty good stuff. They're interesting, those guys. All righty, we'll keep trucking. Which means as we go through things, we're going to go through and do the Hot Rocks part of the show, which is where we're going to go through and pick out or talk about the new songs, and then we'll also go and do the top 10 that was on the week this week. Kat's gone, yep, all Aussie artists from other bands. Cool. And Guru's here as well. Good to see you. He's gone, greetings, rockers across the plane. Andrew, Jeff, good to see you. I'm not sure what the emoji is there, but good to see you. Greetings to you, good friend. All right, so the new songs in Tastemakers this week are AMH with Feel the Same from Vinny. Kat put forward Amorphous, Fog to Fog. Michael C put Arch Enemy, Break the Spell. Ula put Brave Rival with Poison. And Jolie put Good Charlotte, I Don't Work Here Anymore. To top things up, I added Ashes of Autumn with Enemy. Judas Priest and Black Sabbath with War Pigs. Relica with Your Touch. Star Crazy with Bee's Dick from Calling in Sick. And finally, Stone Trip with Postcards. That's the 10 new tracks on Tastemaker. So go and check that out before it gets rotated over the weekend. Which brings us over to the Hot Rocks, which is where after we go through and have a chance to listen to those songs and what's currently in Hot Rocks, we go through and vote selectively for our top 10 songs over the week. So honorable mentions go to this week. They got some love, but not quite enough to go any higher. We've got Testament with Shadow People and Blackstone Cherry with Neon Eyes. Got some love, but not enough. Number 10 was Gary Hoey featuring Lita Ford with You Know I Would. Number 9 was Uriah Leitonen with Going to Hell. Number 10 was number 8, I should say, was number 10 the week before. So it actually climbed up a little bit with the Pretty Reckless with For I Am Death. That actually jumped up a couple of spots. Number 7 was Soen with Primal. Number 6, Catalano with Shadows, which is another Aussie artist out there. So go and get around Catalano. Number 5 then is Hailstorm, falling from number 2 weeks in a row. It's jumped down to number 5 now with Like a Woman Can. It's been hanging on for a while, so it's going very well. It's in its like 5th week now. Nesta has been around for forever and a day now. That's in number 4 this week, so it just sort of keeps hovering around the middle of the chart and never going away. That's with their song In the Name of Rock and Roll. Then we have number 4 this week. Number 3, is The Dreadful Tides, was number 4 last week with House of Pain 2. Again, another one's been around for a few weeks. Which brings us into our top 2 songs, I believe. That was number 3 there. So number 2 this week, or quickly before we do, Craig's gone Stone Trip Postcards. Love for that one. Yeah, there's a lot of love for Stone Trip out there, and it's a cracking song. So for those playing along on Patreon, you'll get your votes in soon enough. But number two this week, obviously, there's a link in the description box for the reference if you haven't go check out, but I'll put a link in the comments now for it. This is Karnivool with Aozora. This is the latest single from the Perth band. It is another taste of their upcoming 4th studio album. I believe it's the 2nd single from it. The album is called Inverses. It's due out on February 2026. I think it's like February 6th or something like that, actually. The song title is inspired by the Japanese term for blue sky, and about the song, vocalist Ian Kelly had this to say. The whole theme for that song is escaping or waiting to escape, trying to find a way to escape yourself. The idea of finding freedom in the blue, trying to find freedom amongst the complications of just being human. We're so weird, Trying to understand that at different times along the road, sometimes you end up with more questions than answers. This one and the number 1 song actually were a tie, and so I had to split them via the play count when we have a tie like that. So this one not by much, only just ended up at number 2. This week, I know a lot of people out there love Karnivool, and we've expressed some adoration for them in the past. But let's dive in. Jeff, how did you go with this song?
Yeah, I like this song. Karnivool is one of those bands that I've known about forever. Even but I didn't know their material. I don't follow them. I don't listen to their albums, sort of thing. It's like if they come across, if I find them in front of me or something on a playlist or something, I listen. I go, okay, cool. So I can't say that I go, oh, gaga over this band, but I really enjoyed this song. I thought it was good. It has it's kind of going through like the it's very emotional in the sense that because it's kind of heavy and it's soft and it's got bits and pieces, a little bit of everything in there. I felt like a bit like a dog's breakfast, to be honest, but I liked it. It was well done. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm gonna have to be. It's one of those bands. Shame on me. I should be paying more attention to. And I know they're Aussie, but it's just I one of my buddies who lives in Perth, and he about I don't know 2 years ago or something like that. I think he was at the airport there, and he sends me this picture of like him with his arm around this guy, and he's like, he's all stoked out, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Who the fuck is that? I had no idea, but it was a guitar player or whatever from Karnivool. So I had no idea. He knew because he loves them, right? He thought that I would know because I should have known.
Yeah.
Had no fucking clue to ask him who is that. I had no idea. But that's the kind of thing. So yeah, it's like I said, it's something that I need to unfuck because I know they're a really good band and they're tight as fuck, like really tight, like Fisher's asshole tight. And so yeah, I feel kind of bad that I don't know more of their stuff. Anyway, I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna give it 7.
Nice,
solid 7 shots. Just because it's good, and there's no question about it. I mean, you can hear the talent in these guys. But maybe I don't like it in the sense that it's outside of my wheelhouse, if that makes sense. I don't hate it, but it's not like I'm going to be. Yeah, the more I talk, I'm just putting my foot in my mouth. I mean, your go.
Well, I'm going to flip the script because right from the bat, this is probably going to be one of my songs of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I adored this track. This is some of the best lyrical work I've come across in 2025 as well. We're going to have that new category for the top 10s about best lyrics.
Yep.
This is going to be a contender.
Wow. Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I couldn't stop spinning it. If you've got any sort of passing knowledge of this band at all, you'll know who they are and what they do, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't know, all you need to know is that bands like A Perfect Circle wish they could do stuff this good these days. This is what I love about prog personally. I've always had that thing in me where I don't like, the staccato time changes and that kind of stuff. I like things to flow and be organic. And what these guys do in their progressive style is all about the organic flow. The melody is incredibly accessible. The hook is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Around that, you got this glorious journey in composition that all makes sense and flows organically as far as I'm concerned. That said, this song is heavy in more than one way. Between the music and the lyrics, there's a lot to take in on this song. I think it's one of those ones that deserves multiple listens to really fully appreciate. So if it doesn't grab you at the start, I think it's one of those ones you've got to give it some time. Let it percolate, as they say, because if you do that, it's fucking fantastic. And Michael's just shared some photos in Discord as well. So go and check those out if you want to, folks, about about photos of Karnivool he took a few years ago. Thank you, Michael, for sharing that. But yeah, like I said, it's light, it's dark at the same time. The duality is equally represented in both the music, the lyrics, and the composition, all that kind of stuff as well. This feels like you're swimming in the world's biggest lake that then turns into a violent ocean. It just has everything from peace to turmoil to angst and release and more. It's also well presented in all those facets in the mix too. I love how this has been put together tonally. There's so much going on here, but they do these beautiful little moments of just space in amongst all this, which is just fantastic. The video ties on with it nicely as well. And like I said, it's one of those songs where the more I dive into it, the more I fall in love with it. It's just stunning. It's heavy. It's beautiful. Melody is king as always with Karnivool, but I love the delivery and the journey within this song alone. For a song in that regard that starts off, I guess, a little bit understated in some respects, this just builds and builds into something very, very special to me. I just love the delivery, the journey of the song. But yeah, there's a mid-song oasis that in the middle of this one is just this perfect little moment that just allows the finale to really land. I love how crystal clear it is all the way through. The waves that toss and turn you as you're listening to it are wondrous, and just the emotive depth, but also just the clarity. You can hear every fucking detail in this song. this swings, it snaps. There's also a lot of subtlety that just makes this so easy to repeat spin, because you're going to find different things each time you listen to it. You'll find a new element you didn't pick up on the last time around. But I love, in addition to all this sort of busyness, how they're not afraid of space. They use it to further the dramatic and emotional impact of the song overall. Again, the lyrics are fucking fantastic. They smoked it. This is up there for me already this year. I can't stop spinning it. I just really love listening to this song. This is how I like my prog. A perfect release, which is what this song is really all about. So I'm going to give this one 10 shots, man. I could not fault this. Wow. I thought it was a fantastic piece of work, and I'm glad it did as well as it did in the polling, and there was only sort of play count that split them, because I think it's just that fucking good personally. But I'm glad it got a bit more love from
it sounds like it's I mean, to begin 10 shots, you don't get not very often. Listen, guys, those people who are watching the show or watching it, anybody out there who knows the band, like, listens to them, give me an album, like a gateway album, the album that I'm going to listen to, and then I'm going to go, okay, I get it. That's your challenge. So messages in here or in Discord or wherever you are, I want to know where I should start.
Actually, that's a good question, because I've got the 3 albums are all interesting. I'll leave it to the diehards. I like the band, but I'm not going to be the diehard that tells you which one to start with. But I started at the beginning and worked my way through. I can't wait for February personally at this rate. Craig gave the song 9 shots, which is cool. But Michael on the flip side goes Karnivool 6 shots, not my wheelhouse. So there you go. Here we go. Ula, good to see you. He's gone ahoy there all. The acoustic question, lead me back to old school Death Angel. Has been hammering Act 3. Damn, they're a great band. Nice, man. Cool. I've seen the list going through. I'm going to populate that list and make something out of it all soon enough. You'll see the results of that in Patreon first, obviously. But there's a lot to take in the acoustic world, which is fantastic.
There is. I actually struggled with this question because I thought about it and I'm like,
where do you start?
I've listened to so much over the years. Where do I start? I don't know. I'm going to rely on people's lists and like, once again, what people say and mention, because that's where I'm going to have to go.
We'll have some fun with it. That'll be something we'll be working on as the year and into next year sort of progresses. So just give us your feedback and we'll keep working on things. Edge Crush has got an amazing song by Karnivool, one of my favorites by them. 9 shots for me. My favorite album is Sound Awake. That is a good one, obviously. Okay. Jeff's gone, like I would think, just start at the beginning with Karnivool, which is true. And then Michael's gone, always say either Sound Awake or Themata as albums to start with for Karnivool as well. So you got 2 votes for Sound Awake and 1 for Themata. They're both... I think, Jeff, what you got to do is I would recommend, for me personally, start at the beginning and just sort of invest the time in the albums, because really get to know them, because there's a lot to unpack in them. And I think that, knowing that you're a prog person like Dream Theater,
I definitely am.
I think you'll definitely get a kick out of it and unpack it. And then when you get through that and get to this song, if you do that little mini journey on your own whenever you get the chance to, then let us know how you come to the conclusion of that.
It's funny about my love for prog, because I do have a huge love for it, but I find myself I get stuck in these little niches of prog, like Dream Theater or Queensrÿche or Rush or whatever, and I don't come out, so I miss a lot. I miss a lot, and that's I'm ashamed of that. It's nothing to be proud of.
Never too late. Never too late.
No, it's right. It's never too late. But So guys, get in the comments wherever and let us know. Not just Karnivool, any prog album that I need to listen to. Okay.
All right, Jeff's going to go on a journey now. Hula's gone, sorry, Karnivool do nothing for me. That's okay too. There's horses for courses. Everyone's different. Flip side is Vinny's here. Evening gang, 9 shots for Karnivool. Always tickles my fanny. So there we go. More love for. So it's a bit of back and forth on there, which is cool. Vinny's also says Hands Like Houses are another great up and coming prog band. Yes. They are an interesting one. We did talk about that album earlier on a Sunday session, I believe, which is very, very cool. Alrighty. Time to go over to the number 1 song this week, as voted on by our Patreon audience, which is fantastic. Link in the comments now to go and check it out. What do we got here? Sorry. Craig says, Vin, your fanny gets around. There's all sorts of stuff going on with Vinny. Hard music, guys. Good to see you. Hopefully you're keeping well. Hey, Andrew and Jeff. Sound Awake first. Themata next. Check out the song Set Fire to the Hive. That is a great song. You're dead right on that one. That is a great fucking song. Okay. So you're getting some feedback there, Jeff, about Karnivool.
I'll be going back after the show later, like tomorrow or over the weekend.
Yeah,
picking out. So please let us know. I'm on a journey.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes, actually. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Over to the number one song for this week, though, to keep us moving along. It is Mirador with Feels Like Gold. This is the debut single from the American outfit, which for us notably features Jake Kiska, the guitarist for Greta Van Fleet.
Yep.
This is from the band's self-titled debut album, which is out now. Michael G in the comments here nominated this one, and even he was surprised at how well this was received in part of the voting, because, like I said, it became tied number one, and because of play count, it actually had more plays than Karnivool did, which is pretty fucking well done for a debut single. But anyway, number one this week is Mirador with Feels Like Gold, so let's get stuck into it. Number one song for this week, Jeff, how was it for you?
Yeah, I love this song. Unfortunately, the name Mirador pissed me off because it made me think of Matador, those pricks with the fucking, the bulls and shit. And those guys can get run over by a sledgehammer. I fucking have no love for those guys. They're bastards. All right. So that's what stuck in my head. I'm like, Mirador, Matador. I know they're not the same, but you know how sometimes the thought can get in your head, that it just pisses you off? Yeah. So
you should have looked at the meaning to Mirador, because it's a real word.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I should have looked it up. I didn't.
It means like vistas or something like that. Yeah, it's like a really yeah.
Well, yeah. So there you go. My own stupidity. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter, because I like the song a lot. And then when I was reading about the guitar player from Greta Van Fleet, which I like a lot, I like Greta Van Fleet's a really good band. I was suitably impressed. I thought this song was very well done, and it sort of connected with me a little bit more than the Karnivool one.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, horses for courses, as you say. I don't know why, because generally I do like my prog. And like I said, I felt the other song was great, but it was just like, it was kind of like all over the place. And it was like, but it was well done, but it was just, so it was a little bit too much. Maybe I didn't come in it with the right mentality. So,
this is a bit easier. Yeah.
This is a bit easier. This is more of a classic, straightforward type of song. And because of that, it connected with me in the mood I was in at the time. That's what it is. It's all about the mood you're in.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed this a lot. I really liked it. Thought it was well done. So I'm going to give it 8 shots because it just connected with me. Yeah. So.
No. Nice. Cool. Now I've been on the record in the past as ripping into Greta Van Fleet for the knocking off of Led Zeppelin, and I know I'm not alone in that one. I know there's more to them than that, and they've got a few albums out, and I haven't checked out their lines, but just that was a whole thing where I was like, whatever. This one, though, where Greta Van Fleet feels to me personally like a bit of a rip-off one, this one actually feels like a genuine warm influence when it comes to the whole Led Zeppelin thing. This is a sound and a band, as far as I can tell. It just seems to be soaked in classic rock in the right way. When they're presenting this song, obviously you can hear influences and all that sorts of stuff, but what you want out of that is then for a band to sort of carve its own little bit, its own little crevice out of it, its own little crack out of the musical world, and just sort of make a little home for itself. And this band does that. This one has all the classic rock influences. It's got a nice little bit of darkness in this one as well. Go through the lyrics in that as well. Also, the note choices were interesting while you're listening to it. And on top of all that, the mix really suited the style and the vibe of what they were going for here. I've got to give a nod to the vocals and lyrics on this one. This is a really well-crafted song. They make great use of groove and feel on this one as well. And I thought the composition was pretty impressive as well. There's a lot to take in here. It's not as busy as Karnivool was, for example, but
no.
For a song that goes on to 5 minutes, they've packed a lot in, but I loved personally how nothing was overdone. None of this was overbaked. It was actually fucking bang on. There's some great use of harmony here as well. The rumble and the smoke in the tones across the board was really intoxicating when listening to the song too. And I loved how this one felt new, but also familiar at the same time. This is how you do it. Not when you just go completely sort of note for note, how can you clone a formula? This is where you just have obviously taken in a lot of the things and grown beyond, and then you put your own little spices into the mix as well. And it's like that. Here's an idea that's popped in my head now. Music is like that, those never-ending soups They just keep adding things.
Oh yes,
and
yes.
The endless stews kind of thing. They keep adding ingredients all the time. Music's kind of like that. It's this never-ending stew, and you want every so often you just want a bowl that's going to have a little bit of difference to it. You want to know what you're going to get, but you want just a little hint of something different, and that's what this one is here. It's comfort food, but at the same time, it's got a little hint of something. It's
comfort
like
food, yes,
and you just want to work it out. Nothing was too flashy here. Nothing was too sedate, but they had great tempo changes across the song. Yep. I think the drums and the bass were great as well. They all take the stage in different ways and different times across this one. And everything here serves the songs first and foremost. There's this, considering you look at the pedigree, it's something of a supergroup, this band, but there was this remarkable lack of a sense of ego in the song itself, which was actually quite refreshing when I was listening to it personally. The way they stripped things back, the little sort of mini interlude in the song was great too. That was before the closing of the song was a great little part there. And again, this isn't groundbreaking, but you don't need everything to be. It just needs to be done well. And this was. I was impressed enough by this one that even though I've, like I said, on the record, not a big fan of Greta Van Fleet, I would actually be really interested to check out this album. Like, this made me go, ooh, what's this all about? Because I want to go and hear more. And now that the album's out, I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I'm going to check it out. If the whole Greta Van Fleet thing, if you like me, if that sort of puts you off, don't skip this because of that. This is nothing like that.
They don't sound anything like.
No, this is worlds apart, and for me, much better. Like, this is what I want when I think about, bands being influenced by the past. If you like classic rock at all, give this a go. But that said, this individually is a damn fine song and a great introduction to a band that I otherwise probably would have, glossed over or skipped intentionally, knowing the pedigree of it. So this is all credit to Tastemakers and Hot Rocks, and this is what it's really all about at the end of every week that we do this for. So 8 shots from me. I really did enjoy it, and I will go and check out the album when time permits. So I was thoroughly impressed by it. So it was a very, very good song. One that actually caught me by surprise, which was a nice little moment there, which was cool. I enjoyed it. Just while I do some bookkeeping there, let's go through comments here. Got a few. Wow. Okay. What do we got here? Vinny's gone. No grilled cheese here, Craig. That's enough out of me. That's back to his fanny getting around a little bit. Michael's gone. Mirador, I didn't like. 5 shots. Not my thing at all. Okay, so we're going to get this whole back and forth on what's going on. Craig's gone. Cheese is still cheese, Vinny. You ought to try. Hang on. That Italian cheese from under the bed. Oh my god. Anyway, Vinny, you keep doing you. Craig's gone. Mirador didn't really grab me as much as I'd hoped it would. 6 shots. Okay. And Craig's gone. Time for a new mattress. Well, yeah, time for new everything. Hard music is gone. Still echoes of Zeppelin. If I want classic rock with a new edge, I'll take the Southern River Band any other day. Fair point. I'll pay that point. Edge Crusher's gone. Mirador did nothing for me. 4 shots or 0.4 shots. Wow. And Vinny says Mirador might grow me 6 shots. Wow. Bit of interesting feedback on that one. Okay, cool. Interesting. I'm wondering. Yeah, wow. Interesting. It did so well in the voting. It's got such mixed feedback now. Anyway, we'll see what happens as time progresses. Now, for those in Patreon or those that want to get involved in this whole thing in general, then make sure you check out Patreon, because once we get off the live stream tonight, I'm going to put up the next post for getting your votes and your nominations in. So it's going to come tonight. You'll have until Sunday to get your details in, and then I'll go through that on the results of that on the private stream on Sunday for you all there as well. So that's coming up after we get offline tonight. I'm going to put up a post before I crash out for the evening and take care of that. All right. As we do, make sure you keep getting in the comments and let us know what sort of your favorite acoustic releases are, and if you see Metallica, what song you want to see, and also keep giving Jeff tips on where to start with Karnivool. A lot of
please.
Feedback required at the moment. And also on that note, Jeff did ask also for any sneaky prog releases you think he may have missed, because he does like to get stuck into a little bit of a groove.
I do. And right now I'm just realizing I was like, why is my fucking finger so sore? And I'm like, I look down and I got this like massive fucking blister on my finger. And it's because I was playing guitar a lot earlier and after work. And I don't play as much as I should. And so I used to have calluses and now I don't. And so I've got blisters instead. And oh fuck, this is brutal.
I'm lucky in that my hands are like leather anyway. So even though I don't play nearly as much as I should, whenever I do pick it up, I don't get blisters because my hands are like leather anyway. So it doesn't matter to me too much. My hands are permanently calloused. There ain't no softening.
Mine's just on like it's this finger here, and that's the finger that I use to do a lot of my bending. And so when I'm bent up, so it's right on the corner. It's brutal. Yeah.
That'll be annoying for a little while yet. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. You enjoy. I'm going to take us over to I'm going to take us over to the first of our feature artists tonight. We've got 2 features to get through as always, both Aussies, putting a little bit of love into the Aussie artists at the moment. And the first one, so our first feature tonight is this little band out of WA called Serpentine. Now, this is a very common name, so I have to go and find the right one. So please follow the link as we go through. Before we do, Vinny says, Jeff, get into the Butterfly Effect. Very accomplished prog band. They are very good too. I think, Jeff, you might like them as well.
From years ago. I never, didn't. Maybe I give them. All right.
They released a really cool album not that long ago as well. Like maybe a year or 2 ago, they released a really good one. They did very well in the audience voting as well. So yeah, check out that one. Edge Crush has gone for Prog Between the Buried and Me. The new album is going to be my album of the year, The Blue Nowhere. Okay, there's some high praise. So, Jeff, you'll have to scroll back through. Alrighty.
I will.
Yep. Back over to Serpentine, though. The reference track for everyone to check out is a song called Danger Zone. This is Serpentine with the Snake Pit. 4 tracks, 18 minutes. The debut EP from the Perth band, as far as I can tell, although I might be wrong on that one because I did see some different bits and pieces, but the sites are so fucking hard to, collate the data from. I'm thinking it's the debut EP. From this one single that's been released so far, which is the one that I've linked to you all with Danger Zone, but there's no video or anything for it. This particular EP was released back in April 2025 and snuck under our radar a little bit until now. All that said, it's challenging, like I said before, to dig up a hell of a lot more information about this. I know it's a 4-piece band, and that's about it. They've given one of the stereotypical bios about how we're going to rip up the place we play next and all kind of stuff, which is fantastic. It's what you want for a bio, but no real sort of deeper detail beyond the usual surface stuff. And I was going to say something before, and I completely lost track of what I was gonna say. That's right. This is the first band in our rotation of what would be next up on Backyard Banger anyway. So I just sort of keep going through via play count or listener count, and that's what sort of determines things for us. But Jeff, how'd you go with Serpentine? Something a bit different?
Something a little bit different. So I'll tell you, I actually went out of my comfort zone and wrote something. Heaven forbid I actually write something. I used to write all the time until I started getting death threats from the rest of the hosts, and they basically told me to stop my 25-page reviews. So, don't do that anymore. But Kendra knows where I live. So anyway, so just one listen to Serpentine, and you can tell these guys are a product of 80s hard rock and heavy metal, i.e. Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, all that stuff. They have a raw sound that is very reminiscent of that era, I found.
Yeah.
The opening tracks on Snakebite and Danger Zone show that they, when they get to the song Danger Zone, they sort of throw it out the window because it's sort of it leads into the next track, One More Night, which was, I thought, okay, this is interesting. Now, one could say that this is just another 80s rocker ballad. It definitely feels like it could have come from that era, but also a little bit maybe early 90s influence as well, before the grunge hit. So definitely, everything changed after grunge. But I think this song actually shows another more mature side of the band, and I was happy to hear it, and I didn't actually expect it from the listen. So I thought, okay, what can I correlate these bands to? And I started thinking of all these bands. I thought, okay, if you wanted to try to imagine what these guys sound like, think Bon Jovi meets a band called Slick Toxic, okay? Meets Skid Row, and then you're about halfway there. In fact, I think the last track itself, Daytime Sinner, all but proves this point. Now I can definitely hear the influences here, and I think the strongest from the early 90s. So they sort of the tail end of the 80s, and that Canadian band Slick Toxic, one of my favorite bands from that era. Love them. And so now this touch point that I have may be difficult if you've never heard of Slick Toxic. You go, who the fuck is that? But then they weren't actually a household name here, so you'd have to do a little bit of digging. Now it's your turn to do some digging. But look, if you do feel like that and you don't know what the fucking I'm talking about, and you call yourself a metalhead, well, okay. Kettle Pot Black, get it, guys? Okay. Anyway,
okay. Says the guy who gets stuck in his prog rocks.
Absolutely, anyway. That was the whole point, right? So, but look, Serpentine shows a different sound that I was happy to hear, and for my money, they have just the right amount of these influences that I mentioned and sprinkled in here and there, and just the right amount of quantities, which I felt that makes it actually easy and fresh to the ear. I really liked the sound. I thought it was really well done. And I'm going to definitely keep an eye out for these guys because, obviously from Perth, if they ever make their way over here, which they probably have, but I didn't know about them. But if they do now, I'm going to be looking out for them. So I really liked that. I thought this was really good. And I give this 8 shots.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
With this one, they opened up with like that little sort of quote unquote in studio moment, which was just a cool little touch there. A very nice little way to open it up. But from that moment, this is just jam packed with riffs and a good time. That's what this is. It's a good little slice of hard rock right here in this one, loaded with fucking riffs. Like this has a great collection of riffs for like 18 minutes of music. But that said, not only is there great riffs, there's also great use of melody and a whole lot of attitude to go with it. If you like this inspired by those that have gone before, Jeff, you mentioned off a great little list of bands there. It does have that side to them, but it's also still fresh, invigorating.
Yep.
If you like that sort of thing, this is going to be definitely in your wheelhouse. Jolie put in the chat before that Danger Zone has a bit of a Van Halen vibe to it as well, which is another band that you can throw in there as well. Absolutely correct. Of course, on top of all that, you get great solos because why not? You must. This, for the style of music, this has every fucking trick in the book nailed, but also not a single beat that feels fake or contrived. And that's the part that I call it thread and needle in that regard. Like you got to really execute finely to get that right, and they've nailed that side of things there. I think the vibe and the lyrics are perfect for the style here. It's just a party in an EP, but there's a lot more to it than just that as well, which Jeff, I think, touched on. Yep. What I enjoyed in particular about the track Danger Zone in particular, for those that have watched us for a little while, you'll remember that not that long ago now, we mentioned a little Melbourne band called Scarlet. Danger Zone takes me right back to that particular album, which was a cool little vibe for me, having followed that band super closely. Clearly, in this whole thing, because I think, the Scarlet album, the spiritual sequel to Appetite for Destruction. So clearly there's the obligatory Guns N' Roses sort of influence on this one, which is,
Indeed.
It's a lazy reference, but it's there. But there's a lot more to it than that. This is a big old melting pot of all the best parts of when the Sunset Strip was the place to be. This has everything about that era about it. It has all the little bits of silliness that were all a part of that. But instead of it being cliche or cheesy or outdated or whatever else, it just feels right. They threaded the needle, like I said. They did this very, very well. It's hard to get it done, executed this cleanly. I love how they use the rhythm section to accent things on this one. They aren't afraid to strip things back a little bit here and there as well. The mix is slightly, just ever so slightly rough around the edges, but that, again, is pretty much exactly what you want for this style of music. You don't want it too polished up. You got to keep the grit, and you got that. That said, everything is absolutely clear. It snaps, it holds your attention. The tones are solid, and this has the right amount of bite to it sonically as well. All this said, this EP is a wilder ride than you might expect, especially because it's so short. But 3 tracks in, you get a genuine, lovely ballad with the track One More Night. Yep. Again, nothing new, but they've got all the tricks that are tried and true, but the execution is A1. I keep harping on about it, but they've done it so well. I think Bon Jovi, which I think has been mentioned already, but Bon Jovi would have been jealous of that song. Honestly, if he heard that now, he'd go, "Fuck, that would have been." Can you imagine? It would fit in something like "Slippery When Wet." Like it would have just worked. You can imagine it being there. It's actually that caliber of a song. I think that not only does it feed the nostalgia, but it invites you to explore how new and interesting anything that's been done before can still be, kind of thing. This is like that hallmark of, just because it's got all the influences doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing again. You're still getting that different little bit of spice that I was talking about before. This opens, sort of strong with Snakebite, then closes just as strong with Daytime Sinner after that too. That for 4 tracks, they've given us something to really enjoy across the board here. They have groove, they have attack, they have hooks and heart. This really does have it all. This is proof that any era, any genre can be just damn fun and also earnest and engaging when done as well as this one is. Like I said before, nothing new, but none of this is a ripoff, and that's the thing. There's a fine line between ripping off and paying homage, and then also on a subset, wearing your influences, and then growing beyond it. And this one, like other bands we talked about tonight, have grown beyond their influences. I think this one stays with you long after it's done. It's easy to repeat spin. This is a really fun little listen. Nothing complicated, but the execution is what makes this stand out. I'll be watching and checking out more from these guys as soon as I have it available for anyone to go and look at. But if you want just a little slice of some old school hard rock done damn fucking right, give this one a go. It will not disappoint at all. I gave this one 8 shots. And my standout tracks out of the 4 here were Danger Zone and One More Night, but every moment here was fantastic across the board on it. So please do check it out and let us know what you think. And Jolie said 9 shots for me for Serpentine. Scarlet are awesome as well. So that's for, going back to that side of things there. So thank you for jumping in there, Jolie. What do we got here? Let's go back to the Mirador stuff for a moment here. Ula says 8 shots for Mirador. 8 shots for Mirador, sorry. So some more love for it now. Great to see old school hard rock influences without being definitively Zeppelin or Sabbath, etc. Which I agree with that in the statement of that song, which I thought was cool. Hard music, Edge Crush, right on. The new Between the Buried and Me Slays. There you go. Incredibly consistent discography, heavy creative god tier musicianship. So there we go. More love for Between the Buried and Me there, Jeff, for you go and check out. Craig says Serpentine sounds like LA Guns Spread Eagle mashup to me. A generous 5 shots at best. There we go. But he says I hope the rest of the EP sounds a little more original. I think give it a go. Even if you weren't a fan of that particular song, each song has its own different flavor to it. So I wouldn't. Like I said, it's not groundbreaking, but I think the EP is one thing, and just one song will give you one song isn't going to be a fair representation of the whole EP. I think it's worth, it's 18 minutes. So I
didn't get an LA Guns vibe, but I was never a fan of that band, LA Guns. A lot of people love them. I was just not. Nope. Yeah, couldn't do it. But I didn't get that.
Yeah. Which version of LA Guns are you talking about as well? Anyway, exactly. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Michael says Serpentine, 7 shots, did not mind it. Okay, some thoughts there. Hard Music says Serpentine, like the guitars, nice crunch and solos. Vocals are quite flat though. Dude sounds bored by his own vocals. Scarlet album is incredible. Serpentine doesn't come close to that. I referenced one song, but no, I did like the vibe overall. Katie's gone. How about the song I Ain't Buying What You're Selling by Steel Panther in connection to the acoustic question? A brilliant song by the guys. It is at least half an acoustic song. I love this song. Yeah, Steel Panther have some good ones too in terms of the acoustic vibe to follow up on the earlier question there, which is cool. Edge Crusher going, I like this Serpentine EP. 7 shots for me. We'll give it a repeat listen. Cool. Katie's gone, does this count? Anything counts if it's acoustic. Harmony says acoustic, touch, steel, and stand, days of the new. Okay, touch, peel, and stand, days of the new. Nice. All right. And Vinny's gone Serpentine, 7 shots, not too bad. So there we go. Yeah. It is the whole point of this is to find those diamonds in the rough. It's the ones where you take a punt on it and see what happens. And none of us go in there with any sort of expectations. They've got like maybe a couple of hundred listeners a month at the moment at most. So
4 songs, anybody can listen to that. It's not a big deal to
give it a go. It's like, I think it's one of those ones where you just put any sort of expectations at the door and just go, okay, cool, put it on, see what it gives you and have some fun with it. I reckon that's just the way to approach that one and be in the right mood for it. But if it doesn't grab you, it doesn't grab you. There's plenty of other music, which, we'll talk about that. Another one right about now. So here's another reference track for everyone to go and check out. This is Ablaze with Next Train Out. This is the second of our 2 little feature artist segments here tonight. This is Ablaze with their new album, Sink Your Teeth, in 8 tracks, 32 minutes. The second studio album from Melbourne band, released August 2025 independently. How these guys haven't been picked up by X Music yet is beyond me. But anyway, This was produced by Ricky Wright Lighthill Sound Recording. A host of singles from this, most tracks been released in some way, shape, or form as a single, including Gasoline and Next Train Out. This is the long-awaited follow-up to No Chaser, which was released back in 2018. And this comes after a little bit of a lineup change for the band as well. This is the band's first release to vinyl, and for us on the show over the years is a band that we've been following from the very, very beginning. From then until now, we loved everything that they have done, as have many of you watching over the years as well. So let's see how this one stacks up to our previous listening experiences with this band. Jeff, I don't know if you've reviewed Ablaze before. This might be a first for you.
I think it is a first for me. Yeah. So I'm certainly not first time for hearing them.
No.
But I've never actually done a review. So yeah, I hope I do them proud. So look, with the release of Sink Your Teeth In, Ablaze has previously teased us with songs from this album, which go back at least a couple of years, with the singles Gasoline, Old Scratch, and even A Different Kind of Nightmare from last year. These are like smack to a junkie. They've been dangling their saucy brand of music in front of us for some time now, just teasing us, getting us to beg for more. Well, I'm happy to say that they have finally given us all something to sink our teeth into. 8 tracks from the Melbourne Rockers. The irony of the title, Sink Your Teeth In, is not lost on me. They have delivered. So this album flies by at a breakneck pace. Just a smidge. I was going to say something else, but just a smidge under 32 minutes. It's 1 second less. Cunt hair, maybe. So 32 minutes. This 8-track album is exactly what we were able to imagine coming from them, but yet it's so much more. With this release, they continue to be one of the modern trailblazers of that scene. And I think this album should cement them firmly and once and for all at the top or near the top of the amazing bands that are coming from Melbourne. So Ablaze continued to show why they're amongst some of the very best rockers to come from the Melbourne rock scene. And I was going to say water, but given the topic, that didn't quite cut it. I think there must be something in the beer in Melbourne. Just going to say so. Okay, maybe.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yep. Sink Your Teeth In is a raw showcase of this talent. And it doesn't disappoint one bit. I think it's been well worth the wait. And I'm happy to say that they didn't hold back. From the very first track, Gasoline, it does exactly what the band wants it to do. It adds a much-needed fuel to set your world ablaze with this upbeat, take no prisoners, go for the throat ripper. This track is the perfect show opener. And I don't know if they're opening up the show, but if they're not, they should be. Because this gets you going. This gets the blood pumping. And I can imagine how this infectious energy-laden song almost like uses like an osmosis effect to transfer energy from the band to the audience and then back to the band again. What a great way to get the party started and keep that fire ablaze.
Yeah, they're a fantastic live band. If you get a chance, go and see them.
I certainly will. Now, the pace doesn't slow down from there. It continues on with the opening track after that and with the song, the party-laden track, Old Scratch. And then into Siren's Call, and then on to A Different Kind of Nightmare, which really showcases the band's modern sound. Not content to remain in the past, this is where they managed to blend old influences with modern-day influences. Think Aerosmith meets Avenged Sevenfold. Okay. Last Train Out reminded me of, once again, it took me back to the late 80s. Think Mr. Big, Addicted to That Rush, meets Tesla's modern day cowboy, and you'll be close to what I mean.
You're pulling some different references to me, but it's cool. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So this is my personal favorite on the album. I love this song. Last Train Out, I just love this song. That the main riff, that guitar solo, fucking smoking. The bass runs, everything, fire. Okay. Somehow Ablaze is able to blend older and modern influences and create something incredibly infectious and a sound that is all theirs. The album closes out with the poignant ballad, End of the Day, a song that I think they left on purpose for last because it really cuts deep. And I have no doubt they wanted to leave the listener with a lasting scar, because this is a place that we've all been. It's a testament to the experience of listening to Ablaze, but it's something that's going to stick with the listener long after the album is finished, something they're not going to forget. Ablaze has crafted something special with Sink Your Teeth In. It has a little bit of everything mixed in here, and even the most discerned listener will find something they can relate to. The time and patience that displayed in the writing of these 8 tracks is incredible, and it shows. You can tell that they took a long time to craft what they've got here. It comes out in every riff, every lick, and every beat, and every word. This is one of those rare albums that doesn't come by very often, and I think it should be on everyone's short list for album of the year. Wow. It will be on mine. Nice. And it would be a crime for me not to give this album anything less than 10 shots. So,
wow,
10 shots. I loved it.
Nice.
That was great. Yeah, so hats off to Ablaze.
It's fantastic. Well done. Cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed that as much as you did. Yeah, wow.
It really took me by, I guess it took me by, I mean, I've listened to them before, but when I was like, listening to this, I'm just like, this is not just an average album. There's something really special here. And on repeat listens, it really rewards. And like that singing, the female, and at the end, the last song, is that what's her name?
Feeling it might be Octavia, but I'm not sure.
I don't know who did that, but wow, that it added something so powerful to the song. I couldn't believe it. So fuck yeah, 10 shots. It deserved every one of them.
Cool. Well, rip the band off. I loved it as well. This is another one that just sort of gets in and gets going right from the opening bell. This one has some extra tricks to it, though. By now, this band haven't been around for as long as they are as a collective of seasoned veterans, and it's showing at this point in time. The storytelling, lyrically and musically, on this album in particular is fantastic. They've always been good at it, but they've stepped up, if that makes sense. Make no mistake, there's no frills, nothing is complicated about this one, but again, it's all in the execution, and these guys are a real step above the pack in so many respects, more than just one these days now. From the percussive touches like cowbell and others across the whole album, the use of space and the sharing of the spotlight amongst the band members, this outfit have the secret sauce into what makes a really good album from a really good band. This has an undeniable pulse and groove that, to me, is just undeniable. The lyrics are A1 across this as well. This opens, like you mentioned, Jeff, with the track Gasoline, which is exceptionally clever. And that's followed by Old Scratch, which is a very sneaky little nod or take on the almost parable level story now with The Devil Goes Down to Georgia. It's that whole thing where you, instead of having a fiddle battle, he's trying to drink each other under the table kind of thing. So it's this whole... And it plays into the Ablaze ethos where you usually see them play live and you listen to the previous work. There's a whole thing about this, and it makes sense with what they're doing, which is really, I thought it was really cool. A very, very clever couple of songs there in that one. And while musically they might seem sort of a slightly on the more predictable side of things, they're both great opening. You know, that's 1-2 punch of an opening album. It's what you want, really. It's meant to be predictable in that respect. True. But after that, you get some cool gear changes with Siren's Call and Different Kind of Nightmare. This little part of the album is a darker sort of turn on things, and it adds some richness, some heaviness, and some complexity to the album. The riff in Siren's Call is fucking chunky. Like, it's really good. And the change for the solo is fucking well executed in that song as well. Different Kind of Nightmare keeps that sort of darker vibe going, slows things down a little bit on it though, and because they do sort of change it up a little bit, it gives a bit more of an emotive approach to it. You hear that hook in your head straight away too, like that, and the way they got the call and response vocals going on, there's a bit more emotive depth to it. Across the whole album, the gear changes are executed wonderfully well. Again, lyrics and storytelling are important, and those songs in particular are served well by that. But this is also exceptionally well mixed. Expect no less, obviously, from Ricky Ray and Lighthill. I mean, he's been doing great things for forever. But yeah, he's worth the coin. He does definitely pull great sounds and great mixes out of his little studio there. But on top of all this, which I've raved about this in the past, but I think it just gets better and better. The secret weapon that this band has is Mango on the drums. His vocal harmonies, as well as his drumming ability, is the way his vocals and Danny's vocals play off of each other is right up there as far as, pairings go, which is, I love when you get a band that has a good pairing of vocalists, and it's something that's very special. Case in point here, the Jets had Gleeso, and Paul was seen, right? I'd argue this pairing is as good as that pairing. It just brings so much to their sound. It's a point of difference to other bands too.
Yeah.
And there is a little more surprises in that, which Jeff already mentioned about the closing track on the album. Next Train Out, as you go through things, has a great hook on that one. The energy brings the light and fun back into things, but all over this, the lyrics have a little more class to them, and a bit more snap and bite as well. This song in particular has some sharp work going across as well. This bug is just flying in front of my face. I love how they change the tempos within that song as well with Next Train Out. I think it's a great example of how different timings in one song alone can make things really interesting, and how they've done it across the whole album is a really good trick. This has everything. It's got party, it's got darkness, it's got urgency, it's got patience. This is all about balance, light and shade. It's also about, dare I say, peaks, troughs, and dynamics, people. That's what I love. I have loved it all along, and this has it all. It's got great solos. The rhythm section smokes it on this one too. Got to give credit where due there. And the vocals all over this are fantastic. I love No Chaser, but this is a different beast to No Chaser. The years between have really allowed this band to hone their craft with brilliant results. From beginning to end, though this may be a shorter album overall compared to what we're used to listening to these days, this just builds and grows. It's a fantastic ride as you go through things. And Menace for the Medicine just oozes groove, and then the closing End of the Day is the perfect way to wrap this one up. End of the Day is the slowest track on the album, but it's also the most emotive.
Yep.
Not that none of the songs, they all have some level of emotion to it, but this one's the most sort of poignant.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It also has, in my opinion, one of Danny's finest vocal performances put to tape so far. I think he's nailed it across the album. That song is just a fantastic closer, and he's now up there as being just a pure standalone fantastic vocalist. Like, he was always good, but now I think he has really taken a noticeable leap from the previous album to this one. I think it's really well done. I think that song in particular highlights that side of his growth as a vocalist, but also has the best surprise with the extra vocalists, which you mentioned there. I think Octavia might have been one of the vocalists there, but you got Mango making a bit more of an appearance there too. Like that in the final moments of the album to bring more people into and how it becomes almost like a chorus effect.
It was fucking unbelievable. I was getting goosebumps.
No, it's a great moment. Not only on an album, but just across the journey of music for this year, as far as I'm concerned. As far as album closes go, they couldn't have done much better than that one. This album has it all. It's fucking fantastic. It's so easy to repeat spin as well, and it has something for all comers and all moods. It doesn't matter what mood you're in. This will have a song that'll fit where you're at. And it's one of those ones where if you're in a good mood, it'll pump you up, and if you're in a bad mood, it'll bring you out of it. It's one of those ones. It's got a really cool feel and vibe to it. Look, this is a somewhat lazy comparison, but it doesn't make it any less true. If you're looking for the heir apparent to the crown currently held by the Screaming Jets, then look no further than Ablaze, as far as I'm concerned. Make no mistake, they are their own beast, but I think there's just something in that for me that I feel, and that reference that I have. If people that know me know how much I love Paul and his vocals and his work and him as a person, that comparison that I make about Gleeso and Paul with Danny and Mango on this one is not a light statement. It's meant from the heart, and I think they are just that damn good, and it just makes this whole band stand out as a point of difference from so many other bands out there. Like, you got so many, like this album by another band, I don't think it would be as good as it is. It's the fact that these guys did these songs and did this album that makes it so good, and that's what makes it special, because it's that intrinsic thing about the humans involved, which is what art is all about, is what makes this album in particular so special, and it is. It's going to be up there at the end of the year as well, Jeff, for me. Not quite as high as you, but I gave it 9 shots. I loved it as well. I picked Siren's Call, Gasoline, Different Kind of Nightmare, and End of the Day. But it's so damn hard to pick standouts because every day you'll pick different songs as you stand out tracks. So it's one of those ones where it's going to be perennial, and I think it'll even get... If we review this one 10 years from now, I reckon it'll get a higher score than it's getting today. Does that make sense? It's got that feeling about it where you'll get just that it's got that feeling about it where you know that it'll age really incredibly well.
Strong fucking album.
Yeah,
it's got a little bit of everything for everyone, and I think that's the strength. It's not a one-trick pony at all.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, loved it, and congrats to the guys. And if they see this, hope you like the review because we both love the album, and we're looking forward to it. Just do us one favor, guys. Let's not make it so many years between albums next time around if you can help it. I know it's easier said than done, but
I know.
You've got No Chase, which is fantastic, and you've raised the bar with this one, so well done.
As I said before, with the singles that they put out, like back in 2023, here's a little taste, here's a little taste, here's a little taste, and as I said, the name of the album was not lost on me. The irony, sink your teeth in. Here you go, people. Here it is. You know, and they delivered. They delivered like in just wow. They delivered. Yes.
Bonus thought here is that it's so cool how those songs, even though some of those singles have been around for a few years now, they haven't lost any of their spark when you listen to them in the album.
No.
Like you don't just go, I know this song and move on. Like it actually makes perfect sense the way they put it together from beginning to end. Like they really executed this one incredibly well. So congrats.
This is a testament. This is a standard album, and like I deserve. I'll stand by my score that I gave it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
No, well done. Well done to all involved. What do we got here? Jolie said, Ablaze, 8 shots, great Aussie rock. Love it. Looking forward to seeing them in the future, which is cool. She's got Mr. That's true, Jeff, Mr. Big, spot on. And then
Mr. Big.
Yep, some emoji.
It was in there. I could hear it.
Yeah, no, I get it. Let's see what else we got in here in the comments. Ula says there's an acoustic metal playlist I put together. Okay, cool. That'll be somewhere. Maybe put it in Discord. We'll be able to find it there. Bandeck, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. New face here. Good to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying the show here tonight.
Yes.
Vinny says Ablaze, brilliant, pure energy. They are very, very good. Craig says Ablaze, 8 shots. Here we go. Ula says Ablaze, another 8 shots. Love the dual guitars, and that solo was awesome.
Awesome.
Kat says, looking forward to seeing Ablaze at Hard Rock with Phil and Tish's Rock Hard Festival in Adelaide on the 11th of October with a heap of other great Australian bands. I'll do a cheeky review when I get back. Please do. I might even drag you on camera for that one if you're up for it.
Yes. Awesome.
Even on camera for that if you're up for it. And Michael's going to Ablaze, 8 shots for this track. This one, Screaming Just Fine for me. I love Ablaze. Other tracks definitely should be listened to if you haven't, which there you go. More people that are speaking my language as well. Obviously with all this stuff, listen to the music for yourselves. We're doing a heavily focus on Australian things at the moment, but we got some changes coming up as the year rolls on. But hopefully you're enjoying this little bit of a briefer format, but it's one that's just focusing on the music and sort of just trying to, give it a spotlight to some bands out there that we think desperately need it. On that note, our email account is info@thehardrockshow.com. It's linked in the description. If you've got something you want to share with us, email that address. If you're a band or whatever else, just if you got a gig you want to plug or a release you want to let everyone know about, then email us because we get so much stuff coming through. But if you email that inbox, it'll get like more to the top of the pile, if that makes sense. Easier to dig through that one than the other ones I've got going on. Excuse me. Edge Crushers as Ablaze, 8 shots for me. Awesome live band. They are a fantastic band. Go see them live. They just got off the European tour as well. So if you get a chance to see them in the near future, after they just get off the road, they'll be super, super fucking tight. That's one of the best times to go and see a local band when they're just coming off a tour overseas. They are usually on the money. Like they're always good, but they just take that extra level when they've come back from a stint on the road together.
Because they're still pumped themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But also the synchronicity of just being on the road and playing those stages together is always fantastic. Alrighty, so this is the part of the show we start to wrap things up now. So we'll get to the raising glass in a second. Like I said, after this one, Patreon people, pay attention because I'm going to put a post up after this one, getting the ball rolling for Hot Rocks and Tastemakers. So even if you don't answer tonight, you've got until Sunday, sort of, midday-ish to get your thoughts in, your votes, and your nominations in, but get them in as soon as you can, and I'll start adding it all together. Also, we have TV, obviously, 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights on Channel 44 in Adelaide and 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights, Channel 39 in Melbourne. We have our 2-hour episodes at the end of every month as well. And obviously, follow us on Discord. And even if you don't want to join the paid side of things, there's a free level of Patreon. Just follow us there and you'll get regular updates. And that's where we ask things like the acoustic. We don't paywall everything. It's just if you want to get involved, you can do other stuff as well. Speaking of Patreon, this Sunday, for those on the private stream, we'll be filming some TV stuff, including Halloween for 2025. And next week, because I'm actually going to be away, I'm not going to dedicate time to doing this when I'm going to see my family for the first time in a while down in Melbourne. So we'll do something different. I'm not sure exactly yet, but I'm going to dig through the archives and put a little something together for everyone to watch next week. So you still get something, just not us sitting here live with you in the room. But after that, we'll be starting to get some guests involved in the show if everything goes to plan as well. So start to have some fun in the weeks ahead as we go through on Thursdays and Sundays. Alrighty, that's all the stuff done. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and give us your thoughts. Email, like I said before, all the info is there. Just hit the description box and just go to thehardrockshow.com and you'll find out everything you need to about us. All the links are there anyway. But Jeff, it is that time of the week where we start to wrap up the show and go to what we're going to raise a glass to this week. Have you got anything you want to raise a glass to?
I said this at the beginning of the show. It's like
you blank out.
It's not that I blank out. Sometimes I do, but I just don't have a lot of shit in my life that I want to share, or two, I feel is share worthy. So I'm gonna raise a glass to my my beloved hockey team, which I'm wearing the hat for right now.
Mm-hmm.
They have been playing pretty good in the preseason.
Yeah, not far away now.
Even, so it's not far away, and they're going to be, so I'm gonna give a shout out to them, and I'm also gonna give a shout out to my baseball team, which is hopefully will make the World Series, the Blue Jays. I'm hoping. So we'll see what happens with that. If they can, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Good luck to
try.
I'll say good luck to the baseball because my team's not in it, so that's okay. As for the hockey, people that know us know that there's a bit of a rivalry there, so I won't wish you all the best in that regard.
No, he does. He says through veiled threats. Yes, he loves Calgary, and I love Edmonton. They're both in Alberta.
Yeah, the battle for Alberta. Hopefully, we have one of those this year, and it goes off. That'll be great for both teams. To be fair,
this is true. Unfortunately, only one they can
go through. But the vibes, man, the vibes are always good when that goes off. So we'll look forward to it. We'll see what happens.
That's true.
Yeah. Well done. I'll raise a glass to that as well. Craig says, good night, all got an early start in the morning. Good to see you. We're going to be out of here shortly ourselves. For me, my raise a glass is actually the fact that it's a long weekend. This weekend coming up here, we get our King's birthday holidays. On Monday. Obviously, this country does silly things all over the joint. But yeah, so our King's birthday holiday is this Monday. So I've got 3 days for a weekend, and then I get a couple of days more at work, and then I have my week off where I go down and see the kids and that in Melbourne and go and hang out with our granddaughter as well, which would be fantastic. But yeah, no, we're looking forward to doing that, obviously, in the family. But yeah, having a long weekend before that is a nice little way to break things up before I head off into the bit of a holiday there for a week off, which would be cool. Vinny, here we go. This is a different one because Vinny says, raising a glass of daylight savings starting this weekend. Glad to see the end of a long, dark winter. For us, we don't have daylight savings. What I will say is because our shower is outdoors, what's really cool is getting home from work and having actually a shower in daylight now, which I do appreciate. The day is getting brighter and longer, which is why we don't have daylight savings. We do notice when the sun is shifting, or we're shifting in relation to the sun, I should say, to be correct. Yeah, it does make a difference. CatsCon seconded Vinny, so there we go. And Jolie says, awesome cat. So there we go. We're getting a lot of fun back and forth, but that is pretty much where we get there. Hard Music says, thank you for keeping the Thursday stream rolling, Jeff. Try the new album from Duck Duck as well. Okay, cool. No, you're welcome. We'll keep Thursdays rolling. We're just going to keep doing things. We're going to try. Obviously, next week will be something different, but then after that, we'll come back with some guests, hopefully, if everything goes
that would
plan.
Be nice.
Kat,
yes.
Looking at you there. Duck, Dick, Goose. Okay, Duck, Goose. I'm not sure what's going on here. We'll have to look it up, but we'll find out that one as well. So, Jeff, you'll have some comments to go and scroll through.
I think so. Yeah, you're forcing me to go back and rewatch a stream with myself, which is painful in itself. But hey,
just go through the comments, man. It's not that hard.
I'll do that. Yeah,
you have to watch yourself back. Leave that to me who does the editing and post production. That's always the fun part. All right, sorry, duck. So it is duck goose. All right, cool. Good to know. Hard music. It's fucking. I was wondering if there was like typo, and then it was like, oh fuck, here we go. Yeah, duck goose. All right, cool. We'll go and check that out as well.
Duck goose. Okay.
I believe so. Final comments here. Cat's going, copy that, Andrew. Yes, well, good. We'll get that review from you. I swear, we're going to get something. And Vinny's gone, Jeff, Bert, and Patty Newton, great prog duo. Oh, my God. Vinny.
You're a wanker. Vinny. He's a wanker. Wanker.
All right.
Wanker. Yeah.
I don't think we can top this one. Go and get your toupees out. To get through that one. Alrighty, that'll do it. We'll keep things going, but we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks live, and we'll go through there. Darby's gone damn autocorrect. Yeah, no, it's always a bit fun. The trouble with autocorrect is once you start, it's just a bad snowball. It just goes to shit, and it gets worse and worse from there. It never corrects until you just fucking stop and go, just hands off and go fuck it.
All right. Anyway, duck goose. I'm gonna check them out.
Yeah, cool. All right. Anyway, that'll do it for now, people. Make sure you look after yourselves. Have a great week ahead, and we'll catch you all very, very soon. Until next time, big thank you to Jeff, as always, for jumping in, help me out with this one here tonight. So thank you again.
Oh, happy to do it.
Looking forward to catching you in a couple of weeks, and we'll see you on Sunday anyway for the TV stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll get through that, and we'll see all of you out there very, very soon. Until next time, I'm Andrew, and as always, folks, you know what to do. Drink up, rock on. Listen to some great fucking music. We've got a lot there. So go and listen to it. Enjoy.
Cheers. Do it.